Hey Calibrate Tools family, what do you do when you have a bad socket in the wall? How do you change it out? Stick around and I'll show you right after this. Okay guys, take a look at the cover plate on this wall outlet, and right here you'll see a crack. That's very dangerous, guys. Any damage or cracks to your cover plates can pose a fire hazard. Cover plates are very important because they cover everything in the electrical box behind it, right? All the wiring, all the terminals, and everything like that. So if this cracks or it's damaged and it's exposing any of those wires or terminals, once again, that can pose a great threat to you in terms of getting shocked or, electrocuted or anything like that. So if you see any damage like that crack, once again, anything at all, it's time to replace it. Cover plates also stabilize the outlet, right? See how this outlet is pushed in on one side? That's because the cover plate's damaged and it's not holding the outlet in there like it should. Things start shifting around in there because of the lack of stability, and you get a lot of wear and tear on the wires as well because of that. Now, it's a couple of reasons that the cover plate could have got damaged, right? You could have backed a chair into it. You could have backed a couch into it while you were putting furniture near it, or, moving furniture around or something like that. A child could have been playing with it, could have kicked it. You could have kicked it. Who knows? Things happen, and that's why it's very important to check out and examine, all the outlets and cover plates in your house because of things shifting around and you not paying attention. Okay, so we're gonna get ready to install a new cover plate on this outlet here, replace the old damaged one, throw it out. Now, anytime you're gonna get ready to repair, install, or deal with any kind of electrical equipment, you wanna make sure that the power is off, okay? Because you don't wanna risk getting shocked. So I looked around in the unit that I'm in, and I did not find an electrical panel box with a circuit breaker to turn the power off. So that means it's on the outside of the building. So we're gonna go outside, look for the panel, and find the breaker and turn it off so we can come back in and repair this outlet. Oops, we got some cats. Okay, so the building is a multi-family unit, and this is the panel that we're looking for, but that's actually the sub panel. We'll go for the main panel right here, and we'll just shut the power off. So we got our flathead screwdriver for that screw right there. We gotta take that out. And the crack is right where the screw is, so when I put the screwdriver in, it pushes that in. And it actually makes it kind of difficult to unscrew this and take the cover plate off, but we'll get it done. There you go. Okay guys, so you see that this wall outlet is shaky. It's not even tight or screw tight onto the electrical box there. So that's another problem. And if you look in the middle here, between the sockets, you see that big crack that separates both of the sockets, right? Look at that. It's not good either. Okay, so this wall outlet has been abused a lot. It's time to be replaced. So let's go ahead and disconnect the wires. Gonna take our wire snippers. Now we want to strip our wires. Look at that, guys. The insulation on this wire is so weak that some of it came off already. Just by me pulling on it. This one right here. Now this building was built in 1947, in the late 40s. Okay, so all they installed back then were two-prong systems or two-prong receptacles, right? That means you only had a hot and a neutral coming out from the service panel, right, into the box, as you can see right here. There's no ground. There's no third wire you see coming out of there. There's no bare wire or green wire. Now, today, that's considered out of code because any system without a ground is considered pretty risky, right? But if you're going to repair a two-prong system or install another receptacle in there, you are still allowed to put a two-prong receptacle like this one. See, there is no ground in this one, right? There's only the two slots, the neutral and the hot, right? The small one is for the hot and the large one, the longer one, is for the neutral. There's no ground hole, no ground receptacle there. You're still allowed to put these in there if the system you're repairing is an older building and it still has the two-prong receptacles in there, but it's not recommended. Now, this is the receptacle that we took off of there. It is a three-prong system. It has a ground, it has a neutral and a hot, right? But there was no third wire that we had to disconnect. It was only the hot and the neutral, right? So this could have been installed negligently, okay? Or the conduit that carries these two wires from the service panel, if that's a metal conduit that leads all the way back to the service panel behind the building, if that conduit is metal, it can act as a ground itself. But you still would have had to connect the socket to the box by means of a wire connecting to the box itself and to the receptacle. We didn't see that here. So that tells me that this was an incomplete job. What's the point of putting a three-prong receptacle in there without a ground wire connecting it to the metal box? Here's another receptacle in the same unit. It's a three-prong receptacle and it has a ground wire connected, the green ground wire there. That's the way you do it. Now, there is a way to see if the system is grounded even though I don't have a receptacle in the box. You can use a tester like this one here. You can plug it into a receptacle, but because I took it out and it's not connected, I still can connect the hot and neutral wires to the prongs on this and it'll give me a reading to see if there is a ground. So I'm going to connect the hot, which is the black wire, and then I'm going to connect the white wire. So the middle light lights up, as you can tell, guys. That means there's an open ground. That means that the metal housing in the box, or the box itself, is not grounded. Now, when the two lights on the right are lit up, that means everything is correct, everything's grounded, and okay. So even if I put a brand new three-prong receptacle in there, it still wouldn't be a good ground because the box itself is not grounded. So we're gonna get some 12 gauge wire because 12 gauge wire is the minimum gauge wire you should use when wiring electrical outlets. So we're gonna get a piece about that long, maybe a little bit longer than we need, okay? Right about there. Then we're gonna look for solid on this side, okay? That's what we want, and we're gonna go to 12 right about here, okay? And we're gonna strip it. We're gonna strip the ends of it. Go ahead and screw that on there now. You want your hook to be going in a clockwise direction because that's the way you're going to be tightening it in with the screw. So the screw can pull it back towards itself. All right. Now you want to take the black wire and you want to fasten it to the brass screws. Black goes to brass. Then you want to tighten the brass screw onto the loop there. Then we're going to take the white wire, the neutral wire, and fasten it onto the silver screws. White goes to silver, okay? Okay, so we're gonna see if these two lights light up, okay? The middle one and the one on the right here. If they do, then that means everything's good. We're gonna have to turn it upside down because the ground is pointing upwards. All right, everything's good. All right, guys, what do you think? Can you do it yourself now, or you gotta call somebody else? Well, I hope you learned enough to be able to at least approach it yourself. And guys, if you appreciate what you learned, hit that like and subscribe button. Come in and participate on the Calibrate Tools lives on Tuesdays and expect more content on Thursdays as well. Hey guys, you have a good time. See you then.